Hello, and welcome to another Nashville Masterclass. I'm your host, James Buford May. Today we're going to talk about addiction and the holidays. This is a hard time on anybody that's using or in recovery because a lot like your step-grandmother, it sucks and blows at the same time, but it's always much to your grandpa's delight. You can't really go to family functions if you're using because you look awful, like anybody that's ever had a facelift, or you're sick or high, looking like an extra from the Thriller movie, crawling through the front door to scare all your little cousins. And it makes you, when you're in recovery, you have the memory of a lot of wasted opportunities to see loved ones, some that may have already passed before you got clean. And it's really hard to think about. A lot of people that are also in recovery, your family doesn't want you around them. They still haven't got over the things you've done yet, and they still don't really believe you got any better. And that's a hard thing, especially when you first get in recovery, because you're of the mind that you've done all this hard work, so why aren't they noticing it? Well, remember, you used for years probably, so it's going to take some time. And they have trauma from past holidays where they didn't know if you were dead or alive, or the younger members of the family were asking about you and they weren't sure what to say. Also, you have to think about the propensity for family fights occurring. Much like any trailer park battle, it gets messy quick with people throwing out past discretions, things that aren't true, things that are true that you'd rather forget, people being sly with passive-aggressive remarks. And if you're in recovery, you're just going to have to come to the conclusion that this is probably going to happen and decide how you're going to react before you get there. And sometimes it's hard to take. You feel like since you got clean that you can fight back and you have every right to, but probably you don't. You just have to sit there and take it. And if you're using or in recovery, it's sometimes it's hard not having enough money for presents for your children, or just to have enough money for a good meal. And a lot of people starting in recovery, you don't have your children anymore. And the holiday is just another time to have it really shoved in your face. It's important to remember not to wallow in the past, or you'll get stuck there. Stop it. It's my beagle. Much like a tar pit. If you get stuck there, you're never going to make it into the present or the future. And that's not just a metaphor. Psychologically, it's very true. And now here's my giant Labrador. Obviously, I didn't shut the door good enough. He's a good boy. So, the holidays are hard for a lot of addicts or people in recovery. It pulls open a lot of wounds, exposing those pains again. And some things with some people may never be fixed. There are people in my family that why they're cordial to me now, and even that took time. They still don't like me. And that's okay, because it's really the best I could ask for. And if I stayed stuck in the past and was of the mind that, well, it's always going to be that way, I did this, this, and that, so why even try? Well, you are going to be stuck in that position. You will never be able to move forward. And the holidays are really what you make of it. You know, I lived homeless for a long time, and then when I wasn't, I lived in little apartments or a rented house, not having much. And I was happy, yeah, but I liked, be it Christmases like I remember, and when I had a lot of money, which we'll go over that in another episode, I was able to buy whatever, buy any kind of car I wanted for Christmas, any kind of instrument, high-end designer clothing, and I wasn't able to do that. Now, after many years, I am able to do that again. Did you really just do that? Say because you don't have this or that this is just a horrible day and it's just something to get through, because it really doesn't matter how much you have or don't have. The holidays are what you make of it, and it should be a time that you reflect on what progress you made or what progress you need to make in the future to be happy. It means whatever it means to you. It doesn't matter what it means to anybody else. Your memories are your memories. If you have good memories, cherish them. If you have bad memories, we'll make new ones. You are in charge of your own happiness. I know it doesn't sound that way, but even if you watch somebody blow up in front of you, your happiness depends on you, not external forces. And that's much easier said than done. But with the normal things in life, people cutting you off in traffic, saying nasty things, any normal slight, it's really easy once you try to overcome it in your mind. How are you going to let somebody else dictate your happiness? And another thing that's important around the holidays is just to say hi to old friends and family on Facebook or text, anywhere. Just a hello, just to know you're thinking of them. And after you do that for a couple of years, that might be enough to where they start talking to you again and bring you back into their lives. The holidays are about much more than celebrating the holiday itself. It is a time to reflect. It's a time to reconnect. It's a time to sever old habits that aren't working out in your favor. It's a time to change. And the way the world is right now, well, your internal happiness should be your biggest concern, because there are all sorts of external forces to work right now to make anybody nuts. It is a good time to decide to do the right thing. And you're not doing the right thing to get your kids back. You're not doing the right thing to make your ex-wife happy. You're not doing the right thing to make your mom or dad happy. You're not doing the right thing for anybody else but yourself. Because if you do, and I even mean this about children, it is going to fail. There are plenty of people who say, I did this for my kids. They don't last. But once you do it for yourself, all these other things fall into place. Everybody else benefits, because the main thing you have to remember is if you don't take care of yourself, how are you going to take care of anybody else? You really can't in the long run. Something is going to fizzle out, fade, or explode. You have to take care of yourself first. And the holidays are a good time to reflect on this. So, with all that being said, whatever you get during the holidays, be grateful for. Whatever small meal you get, it doesn't matter if you're eating at a homeless shelter, be grateful for it. I've done it before. If you're in jail, be grateful for that stocking that the Salvation Army is going to bring you, and that piece of chicken instead of slop that you're going to get. You need to be thankful for any little thing. And if you're still using around the holidays and you still have family members that talk to you and ask what you want for Christmas, it would be a good time to say, I want to get help. It's a good time to ask for those kind of things. It's a good time to look at the world around you and ask what you want out of it for yourself. I said before, you don't need to worry about what anybody else is doing, what Christmas means to them. But you need to look at other people's reaction, happiness, and ask, do I want that for myself? And how to go about it. Nothing worthwhile in life is easy. Getting clean isn't. People say all the time they tried AA, NA, they try to get clean, try to go to rehab, but it didn't work for them. Did you really try it? Staying a few weeks isn't really trying it. Half-assing it isn't trying. It really isn't. Nothing in life worthwhile is easy. It's not going to just come to you, and it takes years. And there are some people that go right to it and they like it, but the thing about them is it only lasts for so long. You're only seeing that initial reaction. Wait till the first time something really horrible happens and see how they react to it. It is a very long process. And if you put as much effort into getting clean as you do getting high, you will succeed. My final thoughts on the holidays is I wish everyone will have just one day of peace. I know even when I was using, Christmas was at least one day of peace for me because I got money and I could go buy drugs without worrying about it. But some people, they won't have any, and they won't be able to get a hold of anybody on Christmas Day. I just hope that one day in this, month, a little more than a month long holiday season, you have one day where you're completely free of worry and self, what am I trying to say here? From just having a bad day, from just having a bad day. One day where you can just be alone with your thoughts and at peace with the world around you, so you can use that one day to really have a moment of clarity and think what it is you need to do. Well, speaking of which, I need to go call my son that lives in California and talk to him for a while and see what he wants for Christmas. I'd never seen him for any Christmas ever in his whole life. But I'm happy to at least be able to talk to him and know that one day I will, instead of freaking out about it and deciding that the holidays are terrible because of this one thing. I hope you keep these things in mind and put them towards use. Any year you see this and you have a question you want to ask, feel free. It's what I'm here for. I don't have anything better to do. So, I hope you guys have a great holiday season, even if it's in July when you see this. Alright guys, out.